Turn one of those lights off for me, please. The one closest to you, so we can see a little better. Slopes of lines. You guys remember what slope is by definition? Vertical change over horizontal change. Okay? If you'll remember that, you'll always be fine. That's where you get rise over what? And of course, we're talking about the slope of a line. We can also write this in terms of the XY coordinate plane. What does vertical deal with in the XY coordinate plane? XY coordinate plane. What axis is this? What axis is this? So, what does vertical deal with? So the change in the what? Y over what? Change in the what? What does change mean? If 5 changed to 3, how much did it change? Huh? If 6 changed to 2, how much did it change? Huh? 4. If 18 changed to 10, how much did it change? What have you done each time? Subtracted. So subtract your y's over what? Subtract your x's. This is, of course, when you have 2 points, x1, comma, y1, and what? x2, comma, what? y2. But you can think of it like this. Subtract your y's or subtract your x's. I think the formula that you guys have always seen is what? y2 minus what? y1 over what? x2 minus x1. But it's simply subtracting your y coordinates over what? Subtracting your x coordinates. That's simple. That's what slope is. Vertical change over horizontal change. Most of the things we do in life, do we do them from, don't write this down, do we do them from left to right or right to left? Left to right. Even a clock starts left and then circles around to the right first, then goes back to the what? Left, right? Just about everything you do in life is left to right. So here, are you going up or are you going down? That's probably what you first thing you'd think, because we're thinking, what do we do? What have we been trained? If you'd grown up in a world where you went from right to left, you'd think you were going what here? Down. But we grew up in a world where we write left to right, and most of the things we do in the world are left to right. So, do you think of that as what? Uphill. Getting what? Higher. What do you think of that? Getting what? So which one's a positive slope? Which one's a negative slope? First one's what? Second one's? There you go. Easy peasy, right? Now, this one right here. What's the slope here? Why is it 0? Because you're not getting any what? Higher or what? You're not, are you? If the Stump family truckster was driving on this, I wouldn't be getting any higher or lower, would I? What if the Stump family truckster was driving on this thing? Well, I just remember that I want my funeral to be a party, not a wake, okay? I want everybody to have fun and have a good time, because that's what I'd be doing if I was trying to drive on this, wouldn't I? Everyone agree? That thing is straight downhill. So it's kind of hard to say that this doesn't have a slope or has a slope of 0, isn't it? But it has a special slope. You guys remember? Undefined. Why? Because it ends up, when you figure this out, you get a 0 on the bottom. So that's not a number. We don't have a number to represent it. But this, if you ever get confused in your life when you take an ACT test, something like this, maybe this will click with you. I'm sure, the one that has a slope of 0 is the one that what? You don't get any what? Higher or lower. Obviously, if you were on this, you'd be getting what? Higher or lower if you were climbing on it, correct? It's just we don't have a number for this, so we call it undefined. Okay? So if they ask you what the slope is of a vertical line, you say it's what? Don't say it has no slope, because this is the one that has no slope. Back in the day, I don't know if they still do this, I used to have a book that said no slope. That's wrong. There's a slope there, trust me. Would you guys agree? Nobody wants to try to climb up that slope, do they? Agree. This has no slope. There's no slope up or down, is there? So it's 0. Okay. Get your red books out. Teach by example more than anything else. And what I mean by that, okay, you're going to have a lot of problems with slope here. First, we might give you 2 points and say find the slope between those 2 points on the number line. How am I going to find that? What is slope? Vertical change over what? What did I tell you guys? What did we break it down to eventually? Subtract your y's over what? And what letter do we use for slope? What are my y's here? So if subtracting my y's, it would be 2 minus what? The order doesn't matter except for this. If I use this y first, what x do you think I have to use first? That same x. You can't use this y first and then decide to use this x first. Okay, you will get a wrong answer. That's the whole reason why they have the y2 minus y1 or so on and so on. But if I go 2 minus 4, I have to go what? -1 minus what?
0.
And guys, I want to see that step every single time, period. From this point, you can do all the simplify 2-3 steps in a row. But I want to see that step without skipping the step. I want to see minus and negative too. What do I get here? -2 over what? Which becomes a what? +2 over 1. I don't care if you leave it as 2 over 1, because isn't it kind of important to realize up 2 to the right 1 on slope? I don't care if you leave it like that. The book will have the answer as what? Just what? 2. For this one, how am I going to find the slope? What do I put on top? Always my? And that's why people always make this mistake, because most of the time, what do we say first? But when we do slope, the one on top is the y's. Vertical change over horizontal change, so it's 1 minus 3 over what? 0 minus 3. I mean, when it's all said and done, is that really that hard? No, it's not. So -2 over -3. But a lot of people want to skip steps, and this is where they make mistakes. It's a negative over a what? Making it a? What do I put on top first? So 5 minus what? Negative 7. I'd like to see that. Then, what are my x's? Negative 2 minus what? So this becomes what? 5 plus what? This becomes negative 3. So this is a what? Positive 12 over a what? What is 12 divided by negative 3? Or negative 4 over 1. I'll zoom out and let you guys write this in a second. Just watch me do this up here. Y. What will my slope be? What do I put on top? Y's, right? So it'd be negative 2 minus what? Negative 4 over negative 5 minus 5. What do I get here? Negative 2 plus 4 over, what do I get here? So it's a 2 over 0. What's the slope? How do I know which one's 0 and which one's undefined? Where can you never have a 0 in a fraction? On the bottom. Here.
Isn't negative 5 minus 5 negative 10?
Yes, it is negative 10. See? So this isn't undefined, isn't it? Darn it, I wanted it to be that because I wanted to teach that point. Did you guys see my mistake? Truthfully, I wanted that to be 0 so I could teach that. Do you now, though, accidentally I taught that if there's a 0 on the bottom, you know it's what? Because you can't have 2 pieces of pizza out of 0 pieces of pizza, can you? But you can eat 0 pieces of pizza out of 2 pieces of pizza. You see what I mean? That's why that's 0 and the other's undefined. But that wasn't the answer at all. Thank you. It reduces to a negative 1 over what? And you always reduce your fraction. Don't ever write a slope as a mixed number. Improper fraction or proper fraction. Now you can have something like this. Find the slope of each line. Find 2 places on the grid. What did we say slope was? Vertical change over what? So basically give me directions to get from N to P. And what are you going to tell me first? How much to go what? What's slope again? So you're going to tell me first what? How much to go what? Up, or up is positive, down is? So tell me how to get from N to P. Go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then one more 6. So I go up what? But then I'm just right here. Now I need to go to the, what's the right? Is it positive or negative? So go to the right, and left is negative, so go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However, we do need to reduce this, so this becomes what? 3 over what? Pretty easy, isn't it? Now, it does look like it hit there perfectly. You could do that and see if you get the same thing, but if you want to be safe, if they've put dots there for you, use the what? Any questions there? So we went up positive 6 and positive 8. Right here. This one's pretty easy. Left to right, how do I get from T to W? Down what? So is that a positive or a negative? And then go to the right what? Wow, that was hard. Keep it simple. Now, start here. Let's go down to number 11. Slope is 3, passes through 0, 1. So what am I going to do? First of all, I'm going to go to the point on the line. The point on the line is to the left or the right 0 and up what? So that's point A. Then from there, the slope is what? But that's 3 over what? So from this point, the point on the line, I go what? Up 3 to the right 1. And I want to see that. And then what do? Connect the dots. Questions there? Not enough listening and too much writing. Right here. First of all, go to the point on the line. To the left, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the point what? R. Now, when I used to teach algebra, I always tried to make this, whenever you get a negative 3 over 2, what's it probably important to think of this as? A negative 3 over a what? Positive 2. So that from here, because here's the deal, this is a point on the line, right? But through this line, I can draw a lot of, I can draw a lot of different lines, can't I? Everyone agree? So what tells me how this line is shaped? The what? The slope tells me to go down 1, 2, 3, and then to the right, what? Get to right there, and now I have it shaped for say. But the other word, the real word for it is what? I have its slope. And there you go. Not too bad, is it? Now, these last 6 problems on this page have to do with this fact. Parallel lines have what? Equal slopes. Their slopes are the same. Perpendicular line slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. If you have the slope of line 1 is A over B, the slope of line 2, which is perpendicular to it, is what would negative reciprocal of A over B be? Negative, change the sign, and then what's reciprocal? Flip the fraction. Change the sign, flip the fraction. These two are perpendicular. Everybody got that down? Say just a second or yes?
I said yes, sir.
Okay, we're good? Cole?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, back to this one. Let's look at number 7. They ask us to determine whether how these two, the lines that goes through these 2 points relate to each other. I'm sorry, AB and what? MN. Okay. Okay. So I have a little more room here. So basically, how can we figure out whether they're perpendicular, parallel, or neither? I find their slope. So I need the slope of line AB, and I need the slope of line what? MN. So you just say, how are we going to find those given this information? Subtract your y's, subtract your x's. What are my y's for AB?
3 minus -7
Over.
over 0 minus 5.
This becomes 3 plus 7 over -5. So this becomes 10 over -5, which is a negative what? 2. Well, let's see. This one would be, MN would be 7 minus what? -1 over -6 minus -2. Be 7 plus 1 over -6 plus what? 2. So it'd be 8 over -4. What do you get? Negative. How do they relate to each other? Are they the same negative reciprocals or neither? They're the same, so these two are parallel. I'm telling you, I'll zoom out and let you write it down in just a second. Everybody watch. Plus you can watch the video. Then I find the slope of what? Nothing's changed, has it? Just the numbers. These two. Minus -5 and -1 minus what? 2. This one is 2 minus what? 0. -3 minus 3. Well, that becomes a positive, right? So this becomes what? And this becomes -3, so this one becomes -3, doesn't it? This becomes 2, -6. So this becomes -1 over 3. What about this one?
Oh, they're no, they're reciprocals. They're what's negative?
Nope.
It's neither.
Why is it neither? They're both negative, aren't they? Negative reciprocal means opposite sign, flip the fraction, change the sign. So what would this have had to been for them to be perpendicular? Positive 1/3. Okay? And this is when you look and say, okay, did I do that right? 2 minus, yes. 3 minus, that's right. 4 minus -5, yes. -1 minus, -1 minus 2, that's right. Okay? So this one is neither. Okay? What are you going to have to do on ones like this? Passes through 3, 0, so that's to the right. 1, 2, 3, 0. So that's Y. And is parallel to this one. So if I find the slope of that one, do I find the slope of my line? So I would just go 1 minus 3 over -3 minus 3. I would get -2 over -6. Should be positive 1/3. So from there I'm going to go up 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. And then what? Connect the dots. Okay. Now the one you can